How about instead of bickering, we figure out our next move against the Speedster and his allies?
Legion of Doom has a sexier ring to it.
I'm not calling them that.
Is it smaller than a Quinjet?
That's classified. And yes, considerably.
It all started when we blew up the Time Pigs, the Time Masters. Now history's all screwed up, and it's up to us to unscrew it up. But half the time we screw things up even worse. So don't call us heroes. We're something else. We're legends. Who writes this crap anyway?
Second half of 104 of the Fandom Zone.
Yes. Welcome back for Part B, Part 2, Part 2, The Wrath of Khan, whichever you prefer. So as we keep playing with my Twin Peaks Funko, sorry about that. So,
no, it's all right.
So,
Bob was freaking me out. He
Yeah.
was staring at me in the camera.
Bob is a creepy Funko figure.
He is very creepy. He's got his hands out.
Especially with these beady little eyes. That you get.
Like he's gonna, tune into Tokyo.
He's got the grabby hands.
Yes, he does. I had Coulson, who was very happy.
Yeah, Coulson's bobbling all over, like ah. So, what are we going to talk about in Part B? If you listen to Part A, Part 1, you already know. But for those who don't, iZombie 307, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 422, the season finale. Arrow 522, not quite the season finale because CW shows go 23 episodes. And episode 8 of Iron Fist.
The blessing of many fractures.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this first iZombie episode, episode 7 of the third season, Dirt Nap Time.
Yeah.
Written by Deirdre Mangan, directed by Michael Fields.
All right.
So what's our A, B, and C, Karen?
A is blending the palette.
Okay.
And that is major blending in. Yep.
Whipping up the blender.
That's right. B story, Undercover Angel.
Just call me Angel of the Undercover Angel.
No, there is actually a song called Undercover
Angel. Oh, that's
Angel.
right. Undercover
Angel.
Yeah,
Midnight Tennessee.
I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah. Where Liv goes undercover with her new beau to be, maybe.
Justin.
That's right. Yeah. And then our C story is the case, which is J is for jealousy. Like on Sesame Street.
Yep. J is for jelly. Are you jelly?
No. Jealousy. Yeah. Because it was jealousy that caused the issue.
Hey, jealousy.
I like when Clive has them look at the crime scene.
Yeah.
And he says, I think it might have been a crime of passion. And Liv says, well, maybe, because one might just have been a property dispute. But then the 13 other ones make it a crime of passion.
That's funny.
The nails in the guy's head.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. So,
and poor Clive notices when Liv comes out of the car and she still looks like a zombie, and he's like, "Is she still a zombie?" And Robbie's like, he shakes his head, "No, don't ask." Bad news.
But Clive seemed to imply that he wanted her to stay a zombie.
Well, last time he joked about it, but I think he's sad.
He's for her. You think he's sad for her? Because he was talking about like, hey, if you stay a zombie, then I can make captain. And you're,
I think that was just him.
Okay.
All right. Happy for her and making a joke. But
so, do you think Clive has feelings for Liv?
Maybe not romantic feelings, but I think he considers them really good friends.
Maybe. Okay. Just wondering. All right, so A story, blending the palette. So is this the murder case or also with Ravi and what's her name?
I think it's Major. Major trying to blend in with
I see what you're saying here. Okay, yeah.
his friends.
Yeah, so Major, of course, is now human again, but keeping that on the down low with his zombie mercenary crew.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he does end up admitting to Justin that, hey, I'm still human, or I'm human again.
Right. Now, Justin did kind of catch on because he was there when Major was taken in,
Right.
and Ravi mentioned something about a cure. So he was let in on it a little bit, and that's why he clued in.
Right, because the real truth comes out when Justin offers Major some, like, one of those squeeze brain tube things on toast, and
Right.
Major's just like, I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah.
So that's when he figures out that Major took the cure, but he's still gonna keep working for Fillmore Graves.
Right, and Justin's cool about it.
Yeah, he's not a dick about it. He's not gonna throw Major under the bus.
Not like the rest of his friends would do.
Yeah, exactly. Because they end up all going to the Scratching Post, the hot new Don Eve speakeasy bar.
That's right.
And at the door, of course, as we've talked about before, each of them need to eat a ghost pepper to be let in. And all the zombie guys take it no problem. And they go ahead and convince Major to eat one who's about to try it. But, of course, at that moment, that's when Don E shows up. And it's like, dude.
The one time that Donnie shows up and you're glad.
Yeah, exactly. So, the one time, exactly. I agree with that.
Otherwise,
he's like, he's a friend of mine. Just let him in. He's cool.
He's good.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, thank God, because...
Yeah. Because that ghost pepper, some people have had bad allergic reactions to that thing.
Yeah, his tongue would have been swollen.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have...
At the very least, he would have been in the hospital, which kind of might tip off the others.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
A physical reaction would have tipped him off.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he might have been able to play off any kind of, hot reaction to it. But if he had a physical reaction to it, he wouldn't have been able to play it off.
Yeah. So, and that kind of leads us into our B story, Undercover Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Where at the Scratching Post, Liv and Justin end up finding Don E. and ask him if he tried to buy the cure from Ravi. And Don E. kind of gets all frustrated and ticked off. He says, well, whoever's got the vials of cure is going to be rich.
Right. Now, okay, I have to say, Don E. was not terribly convincing to me.
You think he's got it?
I don't know, but he was like, come on, no, come on, you can't believe, come on, it was Blaine.
See, I get the vibe I got, he was kind of annoyed about that. Like, he wanted those vials for himself.
A little, but he could have also been just lying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it depends on, it's the actors play on it.
Right.
So, I don't know how he was playing it to,
Exactly. It was a little unclear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Donnie and his crew end up later visiting Blaine in the funeral home. They pay a little visit and says, hey, guess what? I'm ready to buy you out. Because
he's already contacted all of the clients and they've decided to come on board with Donnie.
Exactly.
Already.
So, so they leave. Donnie throws some money at Blaine. But Blaine's dad's bodyguard stays behind.
Mm-hmm.
And shoots Blaine in the side as a message from his father.
Yes, takes a little goodbye.
Takes the money.
Yep.
And is ready to kill Blaine until Blaine offers the dude a large sum of money in exchange for his safety.
That's right.
So
where did he get that?
Exactly. That's what I want to know.
Right.
So remember, he did have the recipe.
That's right. He did.
So he was all whipping up a little batch there. A pitcher of cure.
See, that's why I think he doesn't have them. Because he was trying to whip up some.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So who has it? Maybe Blaine's dad?
Or Donnie.
Or Donnie. I don't think Donnie has it.
You don't think so?
No. I'm not convinced.
Could be Blaine's dad.
I think Blaine's dad is behind a lot of what's going on right now.
Okay.
So
What is he? Boss? His name is something.
Well, his name is Angus, right?
Yeah, but they called him Mr. Boss or something,
Yeah,
right?
well, he was the Mr. Boss replacement. Remember the Mr.
Right.
Boss guy was in charge, and then Blaine's dad stepped in.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
All right, so we had that. And then J is for jealousy.
That's the case.
Yeah, that's the case. So essentially, Liv eats murdered preschool teacher brain.
Right.
So essentially, she wants to talk like a really cutesy person.
So cute.
And wants to turn everything into a sock puppet and talk through the sock puppet.
It was so cute, though.
Yeah.
And she told both Ravi and Major that they could be astronauts, which I loved.
Yeah.
And Major said, what if we don't want to be an astronaut? And she said, see, but you could be anything.
Yeah. Just be an astronaut.
Right. But you could be anything.
Yeah.
So cute.
So, yeah, it turns out the murder preschool teacher was having some affairs with the mothers.
Every year.
So, yeah, he was a very happy guy, apparently.
Yeah.
He had his racket going.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they find out, I forget who was the killer.
Okay, a woman who was having an affair, she and her husband had gotten together and said to the police that they had an open marriage in order to cover everything. But he showed up and killed him. She saw it, and in order to keep him out of jail, they concocted this story that it was okay with him because they had an open marriage, and so he would have never gotten jealous and done it. But he was jealous, so when they opened the door, he shot him in the head with all these nails and all that. But they found out because of a car, and that the teacher had written the license plate in the little letters on his refrigerator. That's how I see letters, by the way.
Really?
In those little places. Because of my synesthesia.
Oh, okay.
I see them in colors like that.
Really? Interesting.
Yep.
That's interesting.
C is always green.
Okay.
Always.
So my name starts with green.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some of the other colors changed, but C is always green.
Interesting.
I don't know why that is.
Okay.
K is always blue because it's the first letter of my name.
That's interesting.
It's just one of the things.
Yeah, that's cool.
And music is colored too.
See, that amazes me. My brain is not wired anywhere near that, so I find that interesting.
Your brain is wired correctly.
Well,
that's the issue.
That's open to debate. Especially if you ask my wife, Lori.
Well, it means that my brain is not wired correctly, and I see calendars like this,
like
out from my eye. Like this is today.
Yeah.
And this is tomorrow, and this is the next day, and this is the next day.
Okay.
So when I plan, I can see, tomorrow I have this, this, and this, and this, and this.
Oh, okay.
I see them.
You see calendars.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Interesting.
And I know that doesn't make any sense to anyone listening, but they go off to my right in a line.
Got it. Yeah, for those of you who can see her hand gestures.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of like pointing, like rows off to the side of her head.
Mm-hmm, like an Excel spreadsheet.
There you go. That's a great
in front of me and off to the side.
That's a much better description.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Anyway, just a little part of me.
What is this bizarre segue that's happening?
Shush you. We're talking about Karen here. It's important.
It's a weird thing that I have. It's called synesthesia.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, so let's see what else.
I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, we did J is for jealousy because Liv. We talked about Clive. And
the only other thing is that Major is kind of setting Liv up with Justin, and I think he's okay with it because he knows he can't be with her.
Right.
And she does this thing because she's still on the teachers.
Now, do you find it odd that Major? I didn't mean to interrupt, but do you find do you find it odd that Major's like, I just banged her like 3 days ago?
No, he knows he can't be with her right now.
Okay, but you think it's just like, okay,
and
we just had sex, but I'm going to go ahead and fix you guys up.
Well, he knows that Justin's a good guy, and if she has to be with someone, it's okay that she's with a good guy. I think it's cute though that she's still in the teacher's brain and she writes that little note. Do you like me?
Yeah,
Yes, no.
check. Well, yeah, because there was a
With
big
stickers all over it.
Yeah, they do have this cute little talk about like passing notes or whatever. If I passed you a note, would you answer it back and whatnot?
Yeah.
So she does actually write him
cute.
the little check me, like, do you like me? Check here, yes, no
Right.
box.
And then he says, will you give this back to her? And Major says, yes, but this is the last time I'm going to do anything for you guys.
Yeah.
And, he's begrudgingly doing it.
And we should talk.
I don't think he's thrilled, but.
No. But we should talk about the cliffhanger for this episode.
We should.
So, Major and Justin get a call to intercept that Harley Jones guy. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
And his redneck friend planning to kill D.A. Brackus because D.A. Brackus is the most awesome name.
I know.
But in the process of trying to stop these guys, Justin gets run over by a truck and gets over it, kind of snaps himself back into shape, goes after the guys after snapping himself back, and they're understandably like, zombies are real, dude, and they're filming it with their phone or whatever, getting video evidence that, surprise, zombies are real.
Right.
So
now, people aren't going to believe it, though, right? Because you can fake stuff like that.
Well, I'm sure they're going to run right to YouTube to post this. And they'll be like, "Oh, is this real?" But it will feed the that talk radio show, radio show guy.
But all the comments underneath it are going to be like shopped.
Yeah,
it's going to say stuff like that.
SJW, social justice warriors.
Exactly. And there was also another part where
men should be Ghostbusters.
The guy who's under arrest and has that memory card was also being questioned by Paige. Paige?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Peyton.
Peyton, yes, Peyton. You're right.
Peyton, sorry.
That's all right.
And she was gonna.
I was saying Paige. Are we talking about the Americans? What's up?
Yeah, Peyton, who was gonna give him a deal if he turned over the memory card, and his lawyer was urging him to take it until a new lawyer came in, and the new lawyer apparently told him not to take the deal because the guy, he knew his life was over if he gave the card up.
Right.
So the new guy who came in negotiated on his behalf. And then the guy hung himself. And she went to Ravi at the end of the episode and wanted Liv to eat the guy's brain to see what was going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he supercharged it.
Yeah, he threw it. Well, it was this weird bonding moment between Ravi and Peyton, as Ravi is like getting the juicer and plugging the electrodes in.
Yeah.
To supercharge the brain.
Right.
But like they're kind of like bonding over this very odd thing, and it was kind of nice to see.
I'm glad that she's in on it this season.
Yeah.
Because then she and Ravi can do things
like if
together.
this was first season Peyton, she would have been totally freaked out, ran right out of the room.
Exactly.
But not now.
So it's cool.
So it kind of shows how far she's come.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's your rating?
I give it 8 brain jars.
Yep.
In tribute to that scene, because it reminded me of The Man with Two Brains.
Thank you. Yes, it did. For me as well.
Okay, good.
Dr. Herfer.
Right. Herfer. Right.
Yeah. Steve Martin is great in that movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah. And we're in sync this week. 8 ghost peppers I give this one.
Awesome.
So, all right. Moving on to the big season finale. Thankfully, not the series finale. It came this close.
It did.
But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be back for season 5, even though it's probably not going to be until after the Inhumans airs.
Right.
So we have to wait a little bit. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 422 World's End.
Mm-hmm.
Written by Jeffrey Bell, directed by Billy Gearhart. And what's our A, B, and C, Karen?
Hold on a minute.
A story, Out Like a Lamb.
A story, Out Like a Lamb.
Yes.
And our B story is Out Like a Lion.
Okay.
Because someone goes out like a lamb and someone else goes out like a lion. C story, The Sword and the Shield.
And I know exactly what you're talking about. That's our little season-ending cliffhanger.
It is. And do you think it's the same thing that I think
was
it is?
speculating Sword as well.
Okay, good.
So we'll see. So
Good.
it may turn out to be that Agent Coulson at least has a different posting.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. All right. At least as
I think they're trying to resurrect it.
Yeah, I think so. We'll find out. So, Out Like a Lamb, please, I'm curious what your references to this.
Okay, who went out in this episode?
Well, Ada goes out. Ada's dead.
I think it's Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, okay.
Because he goes out peacefully, right?
Yeah, he goes out on his own terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's him.
Maybe the Ghost Rider.
No. It's Hope.
You're the one who wrote these, don't you know?
Okay. Out Like a Lamb is Hope and Radcliffe.
Oh, okay.
Quietly. They leave quietly.
Okay. They just disappear.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
I had to refresh my memory. I wrote this one early.
Yeah, so Ada essentially is shutting down the framework left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Things are this virtual reality world is collapsing. Remember, we had Yo-Yo, who entered the framework to bring Mac back out of it.
Right.
She ends up getting captured by a Hydra agent at the beginning of the episode, but Radcliffe rescues her.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew apparently that she was in the framework because Daisy kept coding yo-yos into his pockets.
Right. And he's like, I knew you were here because I kept bringing these in my pocket and everything, and I figured it was you being Hansel and Gretel.
Right.
He kept thinking that they were dropping breadcrumbs.
Right, exactly. So they find Mac. Mac is on a bus with his daughter, trying to get the heck out of Dodge.
Trying to herd everyone out.
Right,
but
and then...
Please, how do you get out of nothingness?
Exactly, because all around them, like bridges and cars and people start disappearing.
Right.
And eventually all the other people on the bus, except for them, disappear. And that's only because, as we find out, that Daisy is keeping them around.
Right.
Through her mega hacker skills.
Why is Hope the last one?
Good. Well,
Hope and Radcliffe.
For emotional impact, but
I guess.
Yeah, so we have to drag that out. We have to twist everybody's emotional responses.
I mean, I get why Mac and Yo-Yo were there late, because they were alive.
Right.
Because they had to stay there until everything was turned off.
So, Yo-Yo is still trying to convince Mac to come back to reality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. And she's like, look, your daughter's virtual. She's going to disappear. You might as well come on back.
It was so dumb.
It was,
because I don't understand why you didn't get it.
Because Hope, for one thing, Hope is like right there and she overhears it.
Yeah, but still, it's so dumb. Why doesn't Mac just go?
Because he's desperate to be with his daughter, even if he knows it's not a real one. If you've lost your daughter, okay,
I get it.
Yeah, it's just like, it's your kid. It's like, when you give everything for the chance to be with your dead kid again. That's where he's coming from with this.
But it's not his dead kid.
I understand this,
but pixels.
It's the next best thing he has.
Okay.
He can talk to her. She can talk back to him. He can hug her in this world.
Okay.
So it's kind of like he gets to be with his daughter again. Is it real? No. But as far as he's concerned, it is.
I guess.
So.
But then there's Yo-Yo there.
Yep.
Telling him point blank, you and I have a life. We're in love.
So what happens, of course, is Hope disappears. So at that point, she's like, the framework keeps falling apart even more. Daisy's back door appears in Mac's home. And so Yo-Yo, Mac ends up like hugging Hope until she disappears, but Yo-Yo wakes up and she's hoping Mac returns, and guess what he does? Of course, only after she disappeared.
He's crying.
Yeah, he's all tear.
Yeah, but after Hope disappeared, he had to wait.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Radcliffe is out on a beach.
Yeah, Radcliffe just is like
scotch.
Radcliffe's like, well, my body's dead in the real world, so I can't come back. So I'm just gonna like have a nice. I'm going to look at the flowers, and to use a Walking Dead reference,
Yep,
just look at the flowers, Lizzie.
that's right.
And poof, he's gone.
Yep, in the middle of a sentence, and his scotch drops onto
Yeah,
the beach.
I like the way they did that. That was just like this really abrupt cut, and boom, the glass drops. That was
Yep.
that was the way
And
to
it was dead silence.
do it. It was. That was the exact way to do it.
Hmm.
So that was that. So that's basically Out Like a Lamb, I'm guessing.
Hmm.
And Out Like a Lion, that has to be Ada.
It is.
And Ghost Rider.
Yeah, someone made a deal with the Ghost Rider.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I
So
wonder what that deal is, because he only deals in one commodity, doesn't he?
that's true. We'll find out. So, being the season finale, of course, everything goes to hell in a handbasket. Ada's
Literally.
see what I did there? Yep. So Ada's ready to use the Darkhold to take over the world, make S.H.I.E.L.D. suffer because she can't get over her feelings for Fitz. And but Ghost Rider shows up, thankfully, at the end of last week's episode, ready to help. And turns out that Ghost Rider can affect Ada and can burn her and presumably kill her, which of course pays off later.
That's right, because he is the spirit of vengeance.
Exactly.
There's no one stronger than he is.
Yeah. No, but not before. So before that happens, though, Ada and the Superior are up to more shenanigans. They have
Superiors.
Yeah, superiors. Yeah, basically. So they have an LMD of Daisy go in and kill Glenn Talbot, or at least try to. Shoots him in the head, but apparently he's still alive somehow.
Right.
Shot him right between the eyes, in the forehead, still alive. Not sure how that happened.
It does happen in real life.
I know, it's just rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
where
rare.
it like goes around
Yeah, just
under the skin.
it just depends on how the bullet impacts under the skin, and if it bounces off the skull or what have you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll just skate around your skull.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, very rare. But yeah, sometimes
He's got a thick head.
Yeah, apparently he's a bonehead. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe he's inhuman.
Ooh, interesting theory. That's possible.
That just popped into my head.
That's a good theory.
I haven't been harboring
ironic
that or
theory.
anything.
But of course, it's like he's surrounded by people, so Daisy's going to get framed for this eventually.
Yep.
And because they're already talking, like Coulson, Talbot called Coulson and said, "Hey, look, they leaked Jeffrey Mace's the Patriots autopsy report, and they're going to take S.H.I.E.L.D. down." So it's not looking good for S.H.I.E.L.D. Basically, they've become fugitives. Even more so now that Talbot was shot.
Right.
So, which probably leads us to what happens at the end of the episode.
Right. Well, we haven't even talked about how Ada goes out.
Right. Yeah, we're getting there. I just wanted to set that up because it happened earlier in the episode.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So
I do love how I just wanted to interject here.
Yeah.
Ada is really confident that she is gonna know their every step of the way.
Right. Yeah. That she's ahead of them in every way.
Right. What she doesn't count on is they use her technology against her and make a copy of Gemma.
Yeah.
And they use the fake Gemma for her to kill, and she doesn't even think about.
That was a great move. Because,
it was
fantastic. And it kind of faked out. I'm sure it faked out a lot of people that thought, "Oh my God!" Because Ada kills Gemma, they thought, "Well, oh no, Gemma got weakened." But guess
that's
what?
what I thought.
Guess what?
It was just an LMD.
That's what you were supposed to think.
That's right.
So remember, we're dealing with LMDs, people.
Boy, did I love the fact that Gemma got to put a bunch of holes in Ada.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It's not like Ada didn't have it coming.
I know. And Ada says, that doesn't hurt me. And she says, that's okay. I just wanted to do it.
It just feels good.
Right. And Gemma, of course, it was just to distract her.
Right.
So that Coulson, who has made a deal with the spirit of vengeance.
Yep. Turns out he's now Coulson Rider.
That's right. He has taken the spirit of vengeance on, and he becomes Ghost Rider and burns her
To a crisp.
to a crisp.
Who ordered the extra crispy?
That's right. Extra crispy Ada.
Yep, exactly.
And she is no longer part of. And I'm going to miss Mallory Jansen. I have to say.
She was really
she
good.
She did an amazing job this season on the show.
She was a good villain.
She was. I hated her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is the sign of a good villain. It's like
right.
it's like the governor on Walking Dead or Negan.
Mm-hmm.
That
you just hate them, but you don't want them to leave either.
But
right?
you know that the show is better because they're so evil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she knew how to chew on the scenery.
Yeah, she did.
She really did.
It made for a better season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It really did.
So yeah, we don't know what the deal was, and I'm sure that was going to have some future ramifications.
He only deals in one commodity. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he sold his soul, I think.
Yeah, so did Coulson sell his soul to
I think he did.
Zarathos?
I think he did. And I think that means at some point he's going to be Coulson Rider.
Or did he just loan it out for a while, his soul? I don't know. Because he doesn't stay Ghost Rider.
No, but he has to do something later on.
Maybe.
Because
maybe he was promised to do some task or something.
Later on,
yeah. So we'll find out.
We'll see it next season, most likely.
Yeah, thankfully we're getting another season, so we'll find out how that happens, or what happens.
Yeah, that's right.
So Ghost Rider goes back. He's like, see you guys, I'm out of here. He does the whole Doctor Strange thing with his portal thing.
With his chain.
With his Hellfire chain. And its sparks look just like on Doctor Strange. So that's what
it sure did. They probably reused the graphics.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, because they have the rights.
It's the mystical portal thing. Yeah.
And we did get the explanation, which was great, that says that, Ghost Rider is not permanently in Coulson. He says, well, I'm glad you took it back, which was good. I'm glad they said something.
Yeah.
And we also get the explanation that he's going to take the Darkhold book because it's made of the same stuff that he's made of.
Yeah, get that book out of here. It's causing
enough
problems.
Safe. Right, it will be safe wherever he is, and so the book's gone.
At least
Ghost Rider's gone for now.
Until it turns up in the Doctor Strange movie.
Right, and he can get back and forth whenever. So that means that Robbie Reyes can show up next season if he'd like to as well. So that door is left open, and of course the deal that Coulson made is left open. And then at the end, they are.
Sword and the Shield. So that the team gets together and sit down and have a nice dinner at a diner.
Pie.
Yeah, because got to have a slice of cherry pie at the Double R Diner with a cup of damn good coffee and hots.
That's right. I thought of you immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
When they were ordering pie.
That slice of cherry pie is worth a stop. Just saying.
And also Legion.
Highway 2 near Lewis Fork, yeah. Well, Legion was doing the Twin Peaks homage as well.
Mm-hmm, I know.
So, yeah. Because apparently, the guy was a big Twin Peaks fan.
Noah Hawley.
Yeah, Noah Hawley, thank you. So,
I just wrote an article, that's why I know.
I'm glad you did, because I totally blanked on his name. Yeah. So, they're enjoying the dinner. Lights go out. Some soldiers show up. Guess what? They're S.H.I.E.L.D. Or not, they're not S.H.I.E.L.D., they're government. Some kind of government agency.
Mm-hmm.
And the agent uses a device to freeze the S.H.I.E.L.D. team in place to take them into custody, like a time freeze thing, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So, but not after Coulson got out a nice zinger.
Yeah.
I like how you turn the lights out. Very dramatic.
Yeah, exactly. Because Coulson's got to be snarky.
Right. I loved it.
Yeah. Now, the next thing you know, we cut away, and Coulson in the bonus scene at the end wakes up on a spaceship or a space station.
That's right.
So that maybe vaguely sword of Damocles shaped that hangs. So that hangs over the Earth, and so he takes a moment to enjoy the view, and then goes back to work, whatever he's doing.
Well, and time to go to work.
So the big question, of course, is this sword, which is this, it's kind of like the outer space version of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is in charge of protecting Earth from extraterrestrial threats.
Right. Because we're getting an Inhumans show.
Right.
So that threat is going to be on that show now.
Yes.
So I'm thinking they have to move Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. somewhere else. And it would make sense for them to get exiled to Siberia.
Or this is just Coulson being exiled there. So they could be scattered all over and have to be brought back together again.
They could be, but I have a feeling they're all out
You
there.
think they're all
going to be?
You think they're all in the same station?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going to be S.W.O.R.D.
Yeah. So
I just think they're going to be the next incarnation of S.W.O.R.D. right now.
Yeah. So hopefully Lola gets outfitted for outer space travel.
Nice.
Which would be awesome to see Coulson riding around in space and Lola.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
With like a dome?
Yeah, exactly. Lola, the dome comes over and just like...
Yep, that would be awesome.
Coulson has his shades on inside his spacesuit or whatever it is. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I like it. Or, out of his hand.
Yeah.
There could come like a dome, a bubble that would surround the guard.
Yeah. But, first thing out of it, I was thinking S.W.O.R.D. as well, so we're totally in... We've, I think a lot of people.
That was the first thing.
I think a lot of people were. I think a lot of people. If you're a Marvel Comics fan, you probably were.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your rating?
9.5 disappearing daughters.
Okay. So what's the half point? What's the half point you knocked off?
What is the half point I knocked off?
Something apparently bugged you. Is it
no, I just didn't think it was perfect.
You didn't think it was perfect. Okay, so you didn't want it. It was close to perfect.
Oh, the fact that Mac just didn't get the fact that Hope was going to disappear anyway. Okay,
so that bugged the crap out of you.
A little bit.
Yeah. So that
Come on, it's fake.
It kept it from being perfect in your eyes. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I give it a solid 9. 9 Spirits of Vengeance.
Very nice.
So, yep. So great way to end the season, and thankfully coming back for season 5.
And it would have been an okay series finale as well.
Right.
But I'm glad it's not.
Yeah. I am too. So next we're going to talk about Arrow, episode 22, the penultimate of the 5th season, Missing.
Mm-hmm.
And what's our A, B, and C, Karen? Oh, I'm sorry. This is written by Speedweed.
Yay!
And Oscar Balderrama, directed by Marzi Almus.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Not Eagleson?
Not Eagleson.
Damn it. They need to work together.
I know.
Okay, the A story is...
Speed Eagle needs to be a thing.
It does. The A story is a particular set of skills or no man is an island.
Right. Very nice.
B story is new Team Arrow. And the C story is flashback within a flashback.
Right. So, A story, I have a very particular set of skills.
Yeah. As in Taken, obviously.
Yes, yeah. Liam Neeson in Taken. And one of those skills is knowing how to clean my underwear.
Are you going to hate me if I say I've never seen that movie?
I've never seen that movie either. I just know the line.
I know that line.
Everybody knows that line, but I wonder how many people have actually seen the movie. They just know.
My husband has many times. He loves that movie.
Really?
He likes the show too.
I just, I have no desire to my daughter was kidnapped. I'm going to go save my daughter.
No, I saw that 10 years ago with Mel Gibson.
I saw that even longer with True Lies.
Yeah, well, no, that wasn't longer ago.
Oh, okay.
I think the Mel Gibson one was more.
Okay.
Was longer ago, but who knows?
Yeah, it's a common plot.
Yeah.
Especially for an action movie. All right, so No Man is an Island.
Same storyline.
Yeah, same storyline. So I'm guessing this
is... That they took them to the island.
Yeah, we end up going to Lian Yu. But, of course, this is after we have...
Adrian.
Yeah, we have Oliver showing up at Curtis's... Or he shows up at Felicity's apartment, I'm sorry, at the beginning of the episode, for a surprise party. Hey!
Which he doesn't care for.
Yeah, it's his birthday. He could care less, but everybody else seems really into it. He thinks that there's an intruder in Felicity's apartment. Apparently, he doesn't recognize Curtis and throws him to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you might want to switch to decaf there, Oliver, just saying.
Maybe.
Yeah, so Curtis ends up going late over to Dinah's apartment, notices that someone's broken into her place. And this is after Quentin can't find Renee. So people are starting to go missing. And so Curtis calls Felicity to send backup, but then he gets knocked out because Mr. Terrific always gets knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
You need to totally change your name because you're not worthy of the Mr. Terrific name in my opinion.
Not yet.
Nope. And so Diggle and Oliver head over to Dinah's apartment. Oliver figures out, surprise, Chase is behind it.
Yep.
Because
he's working with...
What was your first clue, really? Come on.
Right. The fact that he's taunting you from his jail cell.
Oh, and the fact that, hey, I found an arrow shaft in the apartment.
Right.
So that tells me, Talia's working with Chase. Great.
Mm-hmm.
So Diggle's like, okay, I'll get Thea and Quentin to a safe house. But Black Siren shows up at the safe house posing as Laurel, and Quentin totally falls for it because, hey, my daughter's alive again.
Quentin, don't fall for it.
Don't you know about alternate
there's
realities?
Parallel universes.
Don't you watch The Flash?
You haven't filled me in on that yet.
So yeah, there's a whole scene where Thea fills Quentin in on alternate realities.
Right.
Which is
alternate universes.
Alternate universes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, alternate universes. Yes, thank you. So
come on.
Yeah. So they get captured. Everybody's captured because apparently Team Arrow sucks.
Yes, they do.
Or
at least they suck worse than...
Yeah. So even this team that has been working together for much longer gets taken out by a team that has barely been working together at all.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just want to interject before we get too far into this, that at the birthday party...
Yes.
The cake that came out, it was from Lord Mesa Bakery.
Right.
And Lord Mesa is a fan artist, and they did the drawing on top of the cake.
That's right.
It's a shout out.
Yeah, he does these really cool, cutesy, cartoony versions of things, and I've seen his work.
He did some castle drawings and some other stuff. Or I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I think it's a guy.
But the Lord kind of implies a guy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But, okay, so... Yeah, it turns out that Chase has his own version of Team Arrow. So, Oliver decides, well, I guess I need my own new Team Arrow, which is our B story, where Oliver's in the Arrow Cave, and Merlin shows up because he's like, well, I guess I need to go save Thea, and I need your help, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, Oliver reluctantly... First, he's not concerned at all that his archenemy has appeared yet again in his secret lair.
Right.
Doesn't bug him doesn't even...
Well, that's his deal, though.
Yeah, but still. He's not surprised. He's not surprised at this point.
Pops out of the shadows all the time.
Your security totally sucks, dude. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Totally
Merlin
sucks.
That's Merlin's thing.
Yeah.
Is that he just shows up out of the blue.
Horrible.
So, I think, honestly, if these people that he's gathering right now were on his side for reals, they would be a better Team Arrow.
I totally agree.
If Merlin, Nyssa, and Deathstroke were the good guys, they would kick ass.
So are you hoping that, hey, just go ahead and kill Team Arrow number 1 so we can get Team Arrow number 2?
Right?
Yeah. Because so first he ends up recruiting, in addition to Merlin, he gets, guess who? The other Al Ghul daughter,
right.
Nyssa Al Ghul's back. So
hello, husband.
So we finally are leading up to our Nyssa versus Talia showdown that we've been wanting for a while.
That's right.
So kudos for that. And then lastly, we have Oliver going to Lian Yu, going down to that secret Argus bunker where he asked the help of its only resident, Deathstroke.
That's right.
Menu Bandit's back, baby.
I knew you'd be back at some point.
And the show is much better for it. So,
that's right.
So yeah, so
I can't wait to see him in action again.
Deathstroke's back, baby.
That's right.
Yep.
And again, we knew that because they had announced it. They spoiled it for us. It would have been better if they hadn't.
I agree.
But
Yeah, they did kind of tip their hand early on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we should also mention that Oliver ended up having to let Adrian Chase, Prometheus go. Why? Because apparently Adrian Chase has his son William, thanks to Malcolm Merlyn.
Yep.
So
Brilliant.
brilliant. Yes. Thanks a lot for that.
Yep. Well, you did take his hand.
Yeah, that's true, but still, that's kind of douchey. It's still douche move.
A hand, a son.
It's douche move. It's a douche.
Which one of these?
I know he's a villain, but still douche move.
It is big time douche move.
Yeah. It's
but
like
Dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's my nephew.
That I've never been introduced to.
Sorry.
You should just have Thea just grunting or like moaning.
No. And I love that she references her birthday where she got arrested when they're talking about Ollie's birthday. Ollie says, "Remember the last birthday we celebrated together?" Yeah, where I went to jail when I got in a car accident and I went to jail and I was on drugs. Yeah, I remember. Oh, that was good times.
So, flashback within a flashback, our C story. This is back because Dolph Lundgren is Kovar.
That's right.
So, yeah, Kovar ends up, at the beginning of the episode, he chains Oliver to a roof on a building somewhere on Lian-Yu and injects him with this torture drug called the Red Death, which sounds just lovely. And Oliver vows to kill Kovar, but Kovar says, "Dude, you're only going to want to kill yourself.
Right.
You're only going to want to kill yourself.
Yep.
Because I am Russian bad guy."
You know what? Dolph Lundgren is delightful, I have to say.
He's a sweetie.
He is.
Yeah.
But again, with the flashback within a flashback, we have him flashing back to other people.
Exactly, because Kovar reveals that the Red Death, guess what? It'll force you to relive every pain you've ever experienced. And just to prove his point, he starts touching one of Oliver's scars, which of course brings up the memory of how he got that scar. So it's almost like a clip show where we get the highlights of how Oliver got his scars.
Right. How Oliver got his scars back.
Exactly. His scars on his back.
There you go.
You see what I did there?
That's right. I do see what you did there. So he sees Shadow's father and Shadow and Laurel.
Yeah, he sees Yao Fei and Laurel, which was, of course, just Katie Cassidy. Yeah,
playing herself.
She's not really there.
Right.
So, and then I think that's pretty much it. Although he does shake it off, thanks to Laurel encouraging him to overcome it. And he ends up getting out of the cell that he's in.
Right.
So that's where we leave.
And that's where we leave that.
Yeah. So
but there's going to be some more trouble.
Right.
Probably a little bit more trouble before he gets rescued.
So is next week the final flashback? Please, God.
Ever?
Please let there be the final flashback. Please let there be no more flashbacks after next week.
Yeah, because we don't need them.
TV gods, hear our prayer. Let
Mark
there be
Guggenheim.
Yes, do not let there be any more flashbacks after next week.
Yeah.
Please. Begging. Yeah. Let it die.
And Greg Berlanti.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So, anything else about this episode you want to talk about?
No, I just want them to be a team. I cannot wait for Manu Bennett to be out and attacking things. He's so good.
That would be an awesome season 6. Just
I like
okay,
him
I'm gonna keep this team. Screw you guys. You guys all die. Kill off everybody else.
I would be okay with that.
I would be okay with it too.
But Oliver.
Well, that would be the only thing, because I don't want your Thea impression to go away. So
I could come back and haunt him as Thea.
Yeah, purely for selfish reasons. I don't want that impression.
Okay.
Thea can live just for that reason.
All right.
All right. So what's your rating on this one?
8 pairs of socks because that's what he asked for as birthday gifts.
Great.
Socks.
Yeah, you're a barrel of laughs, Oliver.
I know, right?
Seriously. I give it 8 birthday cakes.
Which were awesome.
Yep. So, all right, final show. Iron Fist, episode 8 of the first season. Iron Fist. Whoosh.
The blessing of many fractures.
The blessing of many fractures.
Again, I say, why does he not use his Iron Fist to fight? Can I just ask that question?
Budget.
Okay.
Just saying.
Because he would defeat everyone, right?
Not necessarily, but he would defeat most of the bad guys he's fighting.
Right.
What he needs is more powerful bad guys so that he can use the Iron Fist more to keep up with them. Right. That's what he needs. Seriously. If they ever do a season 2, that's what they need.
Yeah.
More powerful bad guys.
I do have to say, I've seen the picture of the cast of the Defenders.
Yes.
He looks so much better, except for the fact that he's holding his shirt open in most of the pictures.
Well, that's to show off the dragon tattoo.
I know. But he looks like way more Iron Fisty. He doesn't look quite as homeless.
Right. Yeah. Well, they trimmed the beard back. They also shortened his hair.
Yes.
So that helped.
He looks a little better.
Yeah, it does look a little better. So, I still wish he kind of ditched the beard, but yeah. All right, so this episode written by Tamara Beecher Wilkinson, directed by Kevin Tancherowin of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fame.
Very nice.
All right, so what's your A, B, and C, Karen?
The Telltale Hand for Ward.
Right.
Little Trouble in Big China.
I see what you did there.
Instead of Big Trouble in Little China.
I like that one a lot.
I'll Be Your Huckleberry. In regards to the fight.
Yep.
And then Jones and Cage, who were both referenced in this episode.
Yes, they were. So, the Telltale Hand. We get more of the hands doing. We start off the episode with Danny looking for Harold. This is after Ward killed him at the end of last episode.
Right.
And
unbeknownst to Danny,
Danny thinks that the gigantic trail of blood in the penthouse must be the hand. Understandable. Ward totally lies to Danny. He's just like, "Oh yeah, oh my God, oh
I'm devastated.
This is horrible. I'm devastated. I'm really upset. No, really I am." But then Ward flips on Danny, calls him a cancer on their family. And Danny's just like, "Okay, bye. I'll see you later."
Right.
Yeah. So, now Danny wants to go attack Madame Gao's base in China. And that's kind of our Little Trouble in Big China, so I don't know if we should just lead into that or
We can.
Okay. So,
I'll just mention that throughout the episode, Ward is feeling guilt over the fact that he killed his father.
Right.
Because every time he looks down, he shakes someone's hand or something. There's blood all over.
Yeah. Ward is totally freaking out.
Right.
Yeah, big time. So it's the point where he gets Joy. He's trying to he wants to convince Joy of what's going on. So he takes her up to this penthouse, and he's gonna reveal where his father's been staying.
Right.
But he keeps freaking out and seeing blood in the elevator, so he's just like, "We're not going to do this."
No, I'm not going to take her up there.
No.
Right.
This is not where. And Joy is just standing around going, "What the hell are you doing?"
Right. What are we doing here?
What?
And throughout the whole episode, they're given this plan to get bought out by the board because the board doesn't want them there anymore. But Joy has all this dirt on each board member, and so she's planning on using it against them to stay in control. And Ward thinks that she's going to try and use Danny, but she's not.
Yeah. Well, Ward's ready to just say, he's willing to cut a side deal with the board. Hey, I'll just take $30 million, because he's just desperate to get out of there.
Because he's embezzled money.
Well, not only that, but he's also killed his dad. So now that he doesn't want that coming out.
Right.
So he's trying to skip town before the hand
But
get him.
once he sees what Joy has,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, well, this might be my way out.
Yeah.
So he's pleased as punch to see that.
Pretty much.
Okay, so that's that.
So
anyway.
that's that. So
now on to
so
China.
so now we'll go to China. So so they decide they're gonna go to Madame Gao's base in China. Claire brings up the fact that, hey, I have a friend who fought the Hand before.
Mm-hmm. And it's the nurse and Luke, right?
Yes, this is Claire. Yeah, Claire. Well, no. Claire is the nurse that mentions Daredevil. Daredevil's fought the Hand.
Well, yeah, but her friend, the nurse, is the one that got killed by the Hand.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So she's.
Oh, and it was
happy.
Daredevil that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's not happy about it.
Right.
So Claire and Colleen insist on coming along with Danny. Danny's like, okay.
Sure, whatever.
So Danny figures out that his father was going to Anzhou to shut down Gao's operations, but was targeted by her on the plane.
Right.
And so, like, they head to China, and on the way there, Claire figures out that Danny and Colleen hooked up.
Right.
So,
and she's reading a letter that was written to her by Luke from jail.
Right. So we get
and
Luke.
Then
so we go ahead.
She mentioned something about Jessica tracking information down for her. So we have mentions of all the other properties.
Well, what happens is that, like, later on, Jessica gets mentioned, though. That is Joy mentioning that, like, she hired.
Joy was the one that got all the dirt.
Joy hired her. Said that she was pretty good at her job when she's sober.
Right.
Yeah, that was Joy.
She was the one that tracked down all the dirt on all the members. Okay,
exactly.
Sorry about that.
That's the Jessica Jones connection.
Okay.
So, Claire tells Danny, well, hey, he's unavailable because he's in prison.
Right.
And Claire insists that killing's wrong. She didn't, no matter what. But Colleen says, well, that's easy to do when you're not the Iron Fist.
Right. And you know what?
Or easier to say when you're not the Iron Fist.
I have to say, Claire should know better by this point. She's seen Luke have to do things. She's seen all the bad in the world.
Right.
And she's seen what the Hand has done to people. You would think that she would know that there are some people that don't deserve to be breathing. Right?
Right.
So she shouldn't have this moral high ground.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so.
Yeah. So
she's in love with a guy who kills people.
Exactly.
So get off your high horse, lady.
I know. So they arrive in China. Danny and Colleen go to check out the facility, while but then Madame Gao shows up. Claire ends up honking the horn to warn them, and then all of a sudden, Danny and Colleen end up having to fight like their mirror universe opposites.
Mm-hmm.
So of course Danny fights like a martial arts Iron Fist type expert, and then Colleen has to fight this chick who's really good with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And is this where he fights Zhao Cheng?
Yeah, exactly. So this is fights Zhao Shen, who is a drunken Hand operative who uses drunken boxing, which is actually a legitimate martial art. Believe it or not.
He was awesome.
Yes. So it's essentially where you act like you're falling over, and so like your opponent would go to try to hit you, but then you just kind of fall out of the way.
You weave, yeah.
You weave and dodge blows that way, or roll
and
with blows.
He had a little bamboo bottle, and he used that part of the time too.
They're like casks of sake that he's like throwing as weapons, and so.
He was amazing.
It's just a really cool fight because Danny is this much more traditional fighter, and against a drunken boxer, it's a totally different clashing martial arts style. So you have to fight them a different way.
Right. And his name in real life is Louis Tan, by the way.
Right.
He apparently auditioned for the part of Danny, and I thought, okay, that's great, but
he's not Iron Fist.
Nope.
Yeah.
But he was amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think there was a lot of people that wanted him as Iron Fist because they wanted an Asian Iron Fist. But
again,
yeah. So, but Zhao Cheng is actually a character from the comics. He first appeared in Mortal Iron Fist number 17, if you're curious.
I'll have to go look it up.
And go see him there. So, yeah,
he was awesome.
Yeah, he was cool.
This was probably the best fight scene
so
far.
Hopefully we get to see him again.
But it was because of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for the most part, this episode didn't have much going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, let's see.
And that was I'll Be Your Huckleberry.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because he was very,
right.
Very Doc Holliday-ish to me.
Yeah. So, Gao offers to teach Danny in the ways of the hand, and when that doesn't work, she orders her goons to try to kill Claire and Colleen, but then they end up poisoning them on their own weapons,
mm-hmm.
and then the goons' veins start going black.
Which Danny recognizes from his father and the pilot.
Exactly. That was the same symptoms they had. And so now he's got the final proof that you killed my parents, prepare to die.
Prepare to die, exactly.
So Danny powers up the Iron Fist, so we do get to see the Iron Fist in this episode finally.
Yeah, but I don't get why he doesn't use it all the time.
I know.
Or at least more often.
It's more of a finishing move in this series.
Yeah. Finish him!
Exactly. So he appears to kill her, but actually just destroys the wall around her,
mm-hmm.
and they end up taking her into custody.
Right.
So that's it.
And why doesn't she get out of custody? Because she wants to go with him.
Right.
There's no other reason.
Exactly. So Madame Gao's got plans within plans.
Yep.
So, all right. So what did you give this episode?
I wasn't a huge fan. There were parts I liked, but, overall, I thought the episode was really schizophrenic.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I give it 7.5 bottles of bleach.
Okay, fair enough. I was a little more generous just because I love that Zhao Shen fight.
Me too. That was my favorite part of the whole episode.
That was great. So I just dug that. 8 out of 10, and I liked Colleen fighting as well. I'm glad she got her own fight sequence, so I like that too.
Mm-hmm. She's great.
She is great. Yeah, Jessica Stroop. No, not Jessica. I'm sorry, Jessica Henwick, who plays Colleen. She's awesome. So I give it 8 out of 10 bleeding elevators.
And the bleach is in reference to Ward when he shows up at the apartment. He's got a bottle of bleach to clean up after himself.
Pretty much.
But he doesn't get to use it because Danny is.
Yeah, Danny shows up. Thanks, Danny.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wah, wah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So Danny, hopefully we'll piece things together. Go, hey, maybe Ward killed Harold.
Who knows?
Just saying. All right. So that about does it. Do we have any Justina feedback?
No. Because she's moving.
Oh, that's right.
We don't have any feedback.
Okay.
But if you'd like to get us feedback, you can email us at fandomzonecast@gmail.com. Come visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/fandomzonepodcast. We are on Twitter at fandomzonecast. You can listen, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review in Apple Podcasts.
That would be great, too.
We're under Fandom Zone Podcast.
You can give us whatever review you want. You don't have to give us a 5-star.
We had John record a little drop-in for us at the end of our other podcast, and he says, and if you want to leave us a 5-star review, you can find us at Apple Podcast. He says that, and I was like, that is brilliant. So anyway, I'm giving a little tip of my cap to John for that. And I am at Oliveria on Twitter, and you can find a link to my blog of all geeky things.
Yes. Hey, that sounds familiar.
Allie's stuff. It's in my bio there, so go there and hit me up, and it's just a mishmash of everything.
You can read about shamans.
No, you can't. You can't read about shamans. You can read about shamans, though.
The look I'm getting. The look I'm getting.
Yeah.
If you don't understand whatever, you have to read or listen to part 1 to get that joke. So go back and listen to part 1.
So where can they find you, Charles?
Of course, I'm at Charles Skaggs on the Twitter machine, at Charles Skaggs on the Instagram. Facebook, of course. Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus. And then my blog, Geeky Things.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Damn good coffee and hot. Where I talk about Twin Peaks and also all the comic book shows that we cover here in the Fandom Zone podcast. And Doctor Who and all kinds of stuff. So lots of comic books and sci-fi news and lots of news lately that have come out about the TV shows. So please check it out.
Yes. Do you talk about Zod yet?
I have not talked about Zod yet.
Okay.
But I will. But
okay, good.
Yep. So so there's that. I need to post about Venom. I haven't done that yet, but I've been really busy this weekend. So
cool. So now you have some inside information, everyone.
I know. So please check that out. And then please check out my other two podcasts, Next Stop Everywhere, the Doctor Who podcast that I do with Jesse Jackson, and Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast that I do with Zan Sprouse, who I'm going to be hooking up with in hopefully around 45 minutes from now.
Very nice.
So I need to get moving. But we're going to review the very first two episodes, which are airing back-to-back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of the new Twin Peaks premiere, the revival of Twin Peaks. So very excited. Today is a big day.
Very nice.
And we'll be doing that in episode 6, which we'll be recording on Thursday.
So we have time right here for me to go through all my podcasts, right? So I do.
Go ahead.
I'm just kidding.
Go ahead. That was it. That was going to wrap up.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
They're all on my blog. So that's why I give you that. All right. So that's it, everyone. And I want to say hi, Justina, and everyone else who listens. And I hope your movie's going well. Sorry we didn't get to hear from you this week.
Yeah, we sorely missed you. So
and hi to everyone else, by the way.
Yeah, hi Ken from Chicago, everybody. So Fred Firestein,
Philip, of course, who we'll get to see memes from.
Phil Parrish. So yep. And thanks for everybody who's been listening to the Fandom Zone podcast, and please like us. Forget about liking Dangerous Habits for a while. Like the Fandom Zone podcast on Facebook.
We still get likes over there. I know, it's weird, right?
It is weird. So yeah.
All right. So we will talk to you next week, everyone.
Bye.
Later.
It is happening again. It is happening again.
Bob.